All right. Today is January 8th. It's 3:21 p.m. We're playing Cookie from class to bring this material to you, and this is the Board State. The Board State is will be weekly podcast, which mostly was, but was having some alien intervention happen in the last couple of weeks. So we've missed a couple of episodes, more than usual. But we are a podcast where we discover articles that have to deal specifically with game design for social good. We bring 5 of those articles up, we aggregate them, we put them together, we compile them, we put them in a doc, and we talk about them at length. So I'm Mr. V, aka Jeffrey Vierra. I'm joined with, let's go from the top to the bottom, Mr. JH. Who are you, sir?
Jack.
Everybody knows Jack.
Jack.
Who some of you do not know. Yeah, let me just say this quickly. Because of, again, alien intervention with our editor, there should be a video going live before this one goes up that introduces the next person. But just in case that doesn't go up, can you introduce yourself, Alika?
I am Alika Swan. I am the artist and resident conspiracy theorist for Theory Craftist Games. That's me.
That's literally in his job description.
Yep.
It is resident artist and resident conspiracy theorist. But it's not. It's that term again, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's just been dragged through the mud. You know, I think everything's a conspiracy until you actually really know what's going on. So you're all conspiracy theorists too. Welcome to the club.
I think everything is. I think it's all how you say it, right? It's like, you know, JC really helped my life, or JC really helped my life. It's like, you know,
or JC's gonna help your life, and you can't leave until he does. You know, then it's
repent.
Easy, Mr. Holstein. All right, and then finally, we have a good friend of ours who's joining us today to give his commentary. Who are you, Mr. Glassstones?
You're muted.
You're muted. Yes, we can talk for him. You just move off, man. Hello, I'm Ellen, and I'm from the UK, and I'm bananas. You're still muted, bro. No.
Here.
There we go. You're still muted. What happened? You were just talking a little while ago.
I don't know what's going on, but
it could be the connection.
Okay, maybe it's in my ears somewhere.
Yeah, it could be his headphones and that connection.
Might be disconnected.
But he was just.
I'm just gonna tap the screen here and see what's going on. Now we gotta do dubs.
We can do like the kung fu voice, right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Gonna do some kung fu fighting.
I am an advocate of the Western style. I was born and raised in the backcountry of Shanghai. But you didn't know that Shanghai had a backcountry. But I am from it.
It's all backcountry.
I had hair
We cannot hear
long ago, but every man that I've killed, I've lost the hair.
What?
That's Japanese.
Yeah. Now it's gonna be at the DLC.
Want to try jump out and jump back in, Alan?
Jump back in. Worked for me last time. Everything got messed up.
Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we should just like proceed, and then the whole time he's gonna be like.
Okay, I'm doing sign language.
Like this guy in the cast is like constantly
out, and then jump in.
Okay, I'm gonna jump into Discord and tell Alan to jump out and jump back in.
Okay.
Jump out, jump in, jump out.
Oh no, I can't open Discord.
Well, I could do it.
What's going on? See, Zoom and Discord are at war.
I think it all happened when you said that CS word, man.
Oh.
You said that.
Hey, Alan. Can you hear me?
Jackson didn't get it. not a
Okay.
conspiracy, but how
So
was that whole alien thing, man?
well, thinking
Pretty
about
cool,
this,
huh?
Yeah. Which one? Which one?
yeah.
Jeff? Which alien things?
The one that the Charles posted, the Harvard guy talking about.
Oh,
And
Oumuamua.
yeah, and
Yeah.
exactly, and the words that they
So-
use. And,
Yeah, that one actually first came out from the last time we were at Schools of the Future. We were talking about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, but it's like everything is coming in alignment now.
Yeah, I think it would just be so. Let's think about the odds here. We know now that
Okay.
every star in the universe, or every star in the galaxy that we can see, has at least one planet, one Earth-like planet around it. So, and there are more stars
Here we go.
than there are grains of sand on the Earth.
Here we hold on.
So
See, there's no aliens.
I think it was
Hold
super
on.
hard to.
Hold on, connecting audio. I see the word. Hello?
Is it working?
Yeah.
Oh!
Hi, I'm out.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna we'll maybe edit that or not, maybe because that was super cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why do you want to build more work
But your
for
camera's
us?
off, bro.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Oh,
All
it's all
right.
good now.
There
Your
we
handsome
go.
face now.
There we go.
Now, who are you, sir?
I'm Alan. Friend of the friends.
All right, and Alan's gonna give us. He's. I'll speak. It's always hard to kind of like talk about yourself, but I will speak on Alan's behalf. Alan has really, really good insight on most games. He likes Call of Duty, so not all games, but he has some really deep insight, which I think is going to be invaluable to today. He doesn't like Assassin's Creed at all, as well. And then Rockstar Games,
At least
too,
not
right? You don't like
Origins.
any of them. No, I'm kidding. No, he's like the biggest
Anything
Assassin's
that's not
Creed fan.
indie. Anything that's not indie.
Yeah, interesting, right? Interesting. Okay, so our first. Oh, look at this face. It's frozen.
It's
Okay.
lagging and freezing. Oh,
All good. All right. First article today is one that I found, which is by edweek.org, and it is digital games, powerful motivational tool or not so much. Jack, did you have a chance to take a look at this?
Yes, I actually read this one.
All right. What are your thoughts on this article, Jack?
It's going to showcase the big debate that a lot of teachers and a lot of educators is going to have themselves in. Because as much articles they've been in recent times supporting gaming and how it could be used for educational purposes, before the pandemic, there was a huge bunch of articles going up against it.
Mhm.
So now that shift is, of course, going to have this major debate. And so this article really showcase this debate and not really taking a side, but giving you as much of the facts as they can. And though it is a read, it's not really a picture, but it's mainly due to the amount of facts they're putting into your head and the amount of things that is being considered while talking about this debate from one school to the next. So, but one thing that I want to quote from the article before Alika gets to is.
Oh, snap! The one-up. We may have to, we gotta shuffle this around, then.
I gotta secure it. Gotta secure it. Already
Oh,
got it.
yeah.
But
All right.
quote
Go
from
ahead,
the
Jack.
article: one reason students may not value the games they are playing at school could be that educators are haphazardly integrating games into learning without strategizing first, suggested Richard Van Eck, a researcher who has studied educational games and currently serves as Association for Dean for Teaching Learning at the University of North Dakota School, blah, 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 blah. But basically, that's a valid point. Well, you could bring the horse to the water, but if it's not appealing to the horse will not drink it. And so, and that's where I feel like many teachers and educators is going to have difficulties because the closest thing that they have training for this is digital media and how to educate that. And even then, teachers have hard time teaching that. So it's really going to have to be like the shift in their mindsets while teaching. But yeah.
All right, Aliko, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I agree with what I didn't get, of course, I just skimmed it, but I think the article is basically saying that you can't just use games and now it's automatically going to be fun and engaging for kids, which makes sense. But also, I've been thinking about that term educational games, and I don't know, I don't like educational games, just like, because we were talking about that last time. All games are educational. It just depends what you're trying to learn, right? So you're gonna learn something from every game you play, because if you want to win, you're gonna have to learn. And a straight up educational game is like eating all of the ingredients of a cake separately. You know, kids like to learn stuff without being told they're gonna learn stuff. So if you go ahead and put a label on it saying, oh, this is for your brain, then it's not as fun. And the way to educate people through games is to hide it a little bit, but make it more so in the doing of playing the game. So yeah, I agree with what it's saying, in that if you're going to integrate games into education, it needs to be integrated with a strategy and not just used as like putting sugar in the medicine. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, those are my thoughts on it. I'd love to read this thing fully, but
yeah. Alan, motivating kids using video games. What do you think?
I mean, Alika had a lot of good points there. It's kind of like educational comedy. You know, they're two like opposing ideas. So when you try to mix them without a very intricate symbiosis of the two, so that they're actually helping each other and not pulling on each other, then it's really difficult to do well. And it's very rare. I can't think of like what's educational comedy, George Carlin. Like that's like, and you know, some of the best comedians do educate with their comedy, but they're doing it in a way that it seems, you know, you don't feel like you're just there for education.
Dave Chappelle is a good example.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's definitely possible. Like one of the, was it Dreams for PlayStation, did a really good job of kind of seeing where you were while you were playing the game and marking you, you know, turning the gamification of learning was actually really done well in that game.
Absolutely.
So I've seen it done really well, but would Dreams be as popular as like a Fortnite? I don't know. And that's where you want to hit. You want to hit the sweet spot where you're as popular, but you're also educating in a way.
Cool. Boy, okay. We don't have a lot of time. So this is an article that I selected to put on here. I don't have an issue with the article. I think, you know, of course, you know, we've seen this firsthand, what games can do for kids. But I don't think motivation is the right word to use. I just have this whole kind of issue. I mean, and you know, it makes sense, right? You know, I was gonna read this, be like, oh, games and motivation. All right, yeah, I want to motivate my kids. But it's such a tricky word, right? Like motivation, you know, I mean, rather than just getting a burst of energy to
I think it's extraneous.
Exactly. But what games do than anything is draw kids to the content, right? But what's there, you know, once they're there in the content, you have to keep them engaged through having something very, very cool, which is that gaming experience, and it's that fine balance between like super easy and then challenge. There's like this seesaw effect, which is flow essentially, right? Which is Mihaly shimmer can't say his last name. If anybody can say his last name, I can't say his last name. But anyway, that was the whole thing with flow, is just enough stress, just a little bit, right? So you don't want like the Last of Us level of stress where like you're like breaking out in hives because the game is so stressful, which I was totally cool for. Like I literally played the game kind of like in this, what's that yoga pose, like chair yoga pose, like I couldn't sit on it was just like so tense all the time, like cramps in my triceps. But yeah, just to be really, really, really engaged in it. So just a couple of quotes from this article that stood out. Actually, you know what? I'll just zoom to the bottom. I just saw this. Right, my guess is, can I get like a little beatbox to this, like a little? Okay, go ahead, Jack. Okay. My guess is when it's said and done, we're going to see a renaissance of the physical. Matera said, I think you're going to see more people doing cardboard challenges. Oh crap! I just kicked something. But we're seeing this. The next article is going to that idea and concept. This is something that we've been saying when it wasn't cool to say this, and still in Hawaii, we still get kind of like the question of like, wait, what? Like the cardboard games? Yeah, man, the cardboard games. But it's now beginning to kind of tip over, right? Like it's now you're beginning to see, celebrities and things get involved in this new medium. But yeah, I dig this article. I think it's really, really cool. They have some really good data in here and some cool ideas. So definitely one to bookmark or to put in your shooter if you're trying to present an idea for funding or something like that. All right, and that is Digital Games, Powerful Motivational 2 or Not So Much by edweek.org. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Boom! Did quarantine board games chic again, fellas?
Yeah.
Get my little candles and little spray in the air.
There you go.
So
all
use your
right.
incense too.
So
all right, by
Boom.
crshfashionbook.com. Okay, this time we're gonna shift things around a little bit, Jack. We're actually gonna start with Alika on this because
okay.
So wait, Alika, did you have a chance to kind of at least scroll through this yet and kind of get an idea?
No, I was listening to your review of the last one. Hold on.
Okay. So we'll jump on. You can go ahead and start with this, Alika. Just take just a few seconds to just scroll through this and see what is happening here. It's actually so like the hipster in me is saying bastards, but the game designer is saying holy crap. All right, Jack,
we can make a living now.
That's exactly what I got from the article. DOD is like, holy fuck, I don't have to worry. Oh,
get a little time check here. So that, I'm getting a time check, audience, because as you know, we don't swear on this podcast yet. One person out of here continues to do so, which is extra work on the back end to edit it. Right,
wow, Mount Sailor Jack over here.
Go ahead, youngest of us. Go ahead. You're tired. I know. Guys, I'm tired.
No, but for real, this articles are not only just a feel-good article, but it's also demonstrating the strength that gaming in general has become over the past years. They may mention at first to the game Uno, but then it slowly became more and more how it's changing and evolving, and not just that, but also who else is showcasing the games. While at the start of the 2020 year, it was mostly actresses or actors who was was in depth into the culture, whether that's D&D, Magic the Gathering, so on and so forth. But now we're finding more actors and actresses who is not even a part of gaming culture, they don't know about it, entering in. For example, quoting from the article, some celebrities have been getting into backgammon as well. Quero 4 was really into backgammon in the early stages of quarantine, posting about her games a couple times on Instagram. So, and it just keeps on going and going, and we're not going to find this to stop out of nowhere. It's just going to keep on encompassing the world because since quarantine, many more people is starting to realizing that gaming has a permanent stay to our modern world, whether they wanted to or not. So yeah.
All right, Alika, you have
Okay.
you have the bridge.
Okay. So first, could you go ahead and scroll down to the Louis Vuitton
Oh yeah.
set of Jenga? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have everybody see that on the show. Look at that. That makes me sick. So I I don't know. I feel like an anxiety when I look at that, but I hope it also makes it obvious to everyone watching this that just because a brand name's on something does not make it better quality. I mean, Louis Vuitton is good quality. I'm not trashing on Louis Vuitton, but it doesn't make it $700 worth. So I really hope nobody buys this set of Louis Vuitton Jenga because it's effing ridiculous.
Show up at armchair. Oh guys, I play games.
Oh my
I
God.
play games. Like, you guys want to play this?
That's a ban. That's a lifetime ban. If you know, Rob, if you're watching this, Rob, and you see somebody come into Armchair Adventure with a Louis Vuitton Jenga set, please kick them out, take their picture, and never allow them to come back again. But so this is kind of just the thing. Like the whole word chic just puts it says everything you need to know about what this article is saying. Chic. It's trendy now. It's trendy, and I don't feel any more approval as a game designer because it's chic now. Because everybody on Instagram is like, let's play game though. Oh my God, it's so much fun. Like it's not. It doesn't make it any better or worse, but I think it's cool that it is opening it up to the general population, that people all over who might have been stuck on a console or on their phones which is nothing's wrong with that, but board games is something different about board games. So I'm really happy that the fact that it is chic is bringing it to the awareness of most people. And we have a bunch more gamers that will slowly get into something a little bit more, not difficult, but just a deeper level of gaming. These are entry level games, right? These are games that I was thinking about when I first started game designing, and Jeff would scoff at me when I'm like, dude, we got to do Millennial Monopoly, guys, and I'm like, yeah, this is gold right here, and Jeff's just sort of like, oh boy, maybe not. You need to play more games. So this is great that entry level is becoming popular and it's coming in and people are checking it out, and I hope everybody doesn't stop there. I hope you don't stop at Jenga or Uno, but go deeper into it. There's a world of art in those games that are small and obscure and really brilliantly designed and elegant. So yeah, cool.
Awesome. All right, Mr. Glassstones, Alan, what are your thoughts on this article, man?
Okay. So board games have been there since ancient Roman times. We've always had board
Louis
games
Vuitton?
as part of our
Louis Vuitton. Oh.
Well, that's a new thing in the culture where it used to be a big thing in cooking, where you'd take something that was like very low class and try to elevate it as far as you could. Take a grilled cheese sandwich and make that the fanciest grilled cheese sandwich you can. So now it's leaking into other parts of culture where now we're taking a board game, or Uno, which is the grilled cheese sandwich of gaming, and we're just trying to elevate it to a Louis Vuitton by slapping a name on it. I understand the wrongness of that, but I also, somebody's gonna want that, so that's part of it. Is it chic now? That's an interesting term. I don't know if it really applies. I think it's warranted now more than ever because of the pandemic, because the power going out and you losing, civilization is kind of on the cusp there. So board games become more relevant than ever because your world gets smaller. How much power you have gets smaller, and the only thing that can work is the manual. So that's why I think the world is going back to a more simpler time in gaming right now.
Very cool. All right, you guys ready?
All right.
All right. For forever be written, forever be done. I love this. When I saw this article again, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so unreal. Because this is that Jenner dummy, right? Or Jenner dummy, sorry, Jenner person, excuse me, who happens to have 208.6 million followers. That got together with Milton Bradley or whoever makes Uno now, I have no idea, and created a game, right? So like they sat in meetings, they had discussion.
They had a meeting for this design, Jeff.
Right? You know what I mean? Like it's just so like think about that, right? Like it's not something that's just like passively like what if we do this thing? Like there's a lot of thought that went into this, right? Like not thought, intentions rather, right? Like they're just intentionally done with her name across it, like branding kind of idea, right? And then look, we got like, and then even more. So I don't know if this was like a campaign that Uno, like the company, that they went out and maybe expanded and looked for it. But then we got Cindy Crawford. I remember Cindy Crawford. Playing backgammon and tabletop, and this is unbelievable. One is because it's shining a spotlight on the scene, and this is something we've been talking about for the last year over and over and over, is the numbers of what's happening in tabletop in terms of like sales, like month after month after month after month after month, which is just contrary to what you would believe. Like even when I'm talking to people and I'm telling them about this, they're like, yeah, but people can't get together. So like tabletop gaming, analog gaming, about getting together. Well, getting together with their wives and their kids, or they're all at home, they're stuck at home, right? And what better way to share a space than to play a game? And what better way to play a game than have an analog game, right? I think like I was saying in the beginning, like I think this is part of the tipping point. They've been saying for the past 9 years that year after year that the golden bubble is going to burst, and yet year after year we see the bubble expand and expand and expand. And in this case, it's so far that we literally have 208.6 million following celebrities advocating board gaming, which is just like crazy. And then just to kind of follow up what you were saying, Alika, you're absolutely right. So it's like pop music, right? Like some people will stop at pop music. It's all good, man. It gets them through the day. They dance, whatever. They love it. Right on. But other people, they'll listen to pop music and be like, it's got to be a little bit more to this. It's got to be a little bit more to this.
Yeah.
In the case of analog tabletop gaming, there's a lot more to go through. And we were talking about this at our New Year's thing too, is the whole Target, the new Target's popular now, which I said it then, I'll say it again. I think it's just silly. I think it's just so ridiculous that from Target you're a less of a gamer. Target has good freaking board games. We're not talking about level entry games. They have like good meaty board games. They might not have the crazy heavy Euro games, but those are like $100 and $150 games. They're not gonna, because the chances of them selling out and not have to sell at a discount are very slim. Yeah, that's
kind of like the EA of board gaming.
Yeah.
A little more though, a little more, because they had like Jaws of the Wolf, which is like a really good Gloomhaven game. Like they had Oink games. Oink is a Japanese like boutique niche game. They changed the packaging a little bit because it was super small, so I think they were afraid that people would steal it. but so they made it like a bigger box. But I almost had a heart attack. I was walking through Target, and I always stop by there. I'm so excited to kind of see, like, wow, what is Target gonna have now on their shelves? And they had an
Yeah,
one game.
EA still made Dead Space. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
And EMA Battlefield.
of course.
There you go.
Yeah, those are all like really weird out there, like 3-person developer team games, right? It's like budget like 500,000, something like that. Yeah, it's little, where
I just hope the commoditization of the industry doesn't go too far. That's the only thing for me. Yeah.
So, yes. So one of the best things about board gaming is that, so like it is essentially an open source community. The designers, so there's no real copyright because if you mess with someone, or if you do something in an unethical way, the community will shun you. Now that may happen in the popular crowd, right? Like in this kind of like poppy game, like they might rip off and whatever and get sued, and people won't care about that. But you're not going to get lasting income. Like the fanatics, like I was. Thankfully, I've slowed down. I would literally get 10 to 15 games a week, and I play 3 a month. But it's just, we're just hungry for the new thing, right? And it's, that hasn't gone away for most fanatical board gamers. So those are the guys that are, where there's margins involved. Because I'm sure, with this Kylie game, I mean, there's big margins here, but how many people are really going to buy, 700 so whatever this is? Probably, I'm sure there'll be a couple of celebrities that'll buy it.
That belongs in a beach house, in a
right
in a place with way too much.
Because
patchouli.
here's the thing with fanatical gamers, right? Like, we don't look at the price of the game. That's just the game that we want. we bring it up, we bring it to the cash register, like, oh, okay. Oh, that was $200. Oh, okay. Phew. Oh, okay. All right, great. Yeah. We're just price doesn't matter. Whereas like, a casual gamer, they may pick up a couple of games and then just play that game for forever. Right? Or like the hardcore gamers, we play one game and then that goes on a shelf and we don't touch it again, essentially. But yeah, so I'm excited to see where this goes. Oh, go ahead, go, please.
Okay, sorry. Oh, go ahead, Jack. You spoke up first.
Sorry, but that Jenga set looks like if it collapses, it will just break. Is it just
it's not glass. It's probably plastic.
That's probably
plastic.
But
how they
I actually think it looks really cool.
Shot, it looks like it's just gonna break.
I know, Alika. But I'm just saying, I love the color. I mean, of course, the symbols can go to hell. Like I don't know. But I love
exactly.
I love the color, like how it goes from like a lighter to darker. I mean,
yeah.
And of course, I guess you wouldn't play it that way. I mean, you just kind of mix them up. Maybe I don't know. I had to like set up that way, which was a long time. Like, no, that's not.
Yeah.
Like,
OCD. Yeah.
Go, man. Damn right.
Yeah.
This costs $700, so ping it properly.
Right. We take an hour this game out.
It's just the symbols of it. Yeah, it's just having a brand name like that on it is gross. But the colors, like you said, the colors are beautiful. Anyway, so I was just thinking that it would actually be a pretty cool thing if more people got into it, got into like mid-level instead of entry-level. Like they're attracted by the entry-level and then they slowly start getting into the mid-level of games. I guess my concern is in the crowd that will buy an Uno game because it has Kylie on it will most likely not ever go beyond that. So I guess my concern is on how and to whom this is being advertised to. Like, what is their target demographic? And that will determine whether or not this goes from trendy to a burgeoning new wave of interest, or it will just be trendy and done.
I just want to go to armchair one day, like when everything gets back to normal. I'd be like, hey, we're like, hey Jeff, what's up, man? How you been? Yeah. You guys want to play a game, dude? We got the game. Let's see it. How's some Kylie Uno?
Oh man,
I'd be like, you guys ready? You guys ready? And it's like,
they're just gonna
Hey,
throw
man,
their
I'd
pizza
win.
at you.
I would win that Uno match.
tangent, quick is worth
Challenge
mentioning.
accepted.
So for the longest time, I was looking for this Justin Bieber game, right? It was like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
take Justin Bieber on a date, like just forever. And like Deb bought it for my birthday or something because the version that I have is like, it's kind of expensive, for like, I mean, it's like $70 or something, but it's like a throwaway, like, I don't really care about it. But I really wanted it because it's just such a meme, right? And it was a 24-hour gaming event, like this charity gaming event, and we played like 5 hours of this. And like I remember an armchair, because they're like at these 24-hour events, you get a lot of like outsiders outside the community that come in. So like all my friends, they would be like, dude, what the hell, really, dude? I'll be like, yeah, man, we're going on a date. The whole game's, what is this about? The whole game's about going, like, the goal is to go on a date with Justin Bieber. So you gotta like go to his shows and like do all this. Like, it's like not a lot of depth, but that's you gotta like
Run some
write it in your
cocoa.
diary. No, and it's like there's like the trivia aspect of it. Like, when Justin was 12 years old, what was his first grade teacher name or whatever? Like, what is his first year teacher's name? He like, and like the most funniest thing, dude. Like people tell me, they're like scoff at us, like, oh, these guys, they think they're gamers, right? Which is also funny. But the other thing, dude, Panda was getting all the answers. We were like rolling, like, dude, how do you know this stuff? So Panda, listeners, just a friend of ours. But it's just so funny. He's like, oh, his favorite color is turquoise. Can we move on, please? I'm like, dude, I know this. Peanut butter sandwiches with sardines. We're like, what?
These are entry-level Bieber knowledge. I don't know how you guys don't know this. This is all on his Instagram.
No, he was totally like brushing it off, like, I don't know any of this, like, I don't know any of this. And then like nobody be like, come on, guys, what's the hat that he lost in the Japan tour? What was the logo? And everybody be like, Frito-Lay's. And like just say like random stuff, Warner Brothers, and Panda would find it, be like, special edition 1972 Nike hat that the All Stars wore, and which is like,
What the hell?
what?
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Know this.
all right.
Panda.
Let's move on. Did quarantine make up board games chic again? Pretty much. Okay, next article. Okay, Gama Sutra. Always got to talk. It's been some time, Jackson. We brought up a Gama Sutra article, so I wanted to add this in here. And it's a 2020-2021 relief, an empathy-driven way to design games by GamaSutra.com. Jack, what are your thoughts about empathy-based design?
Empathy-based design is really key to a lot more game developers, because I'm still talking about a lot more heavier-handed subjects, like how we're going to see the betrayal in the episode foreshadowing. Well, empathy design, if it's done correctly, can be the most surreal experience a gamer could have.
Absolutely.
And can also be more memorable with just the approaches they have done to, well, it is now influencing their lives. For example, Halo for me. It was such a big influence for my life, but a lot of the kinetic stuff wasn't from the game, but from the communications my family and my friends had while playing with it. And really, to re-emphasize this point, I'm gonna quote directly from Gamma Sutra, and quote from the article: a kinetic drive approach is an important aspect of redefining process because a person's outward facing physical state is crucial for communication. and generating empathy. In fact, around 90% of communication involves physical components like facial expressions, gestures, and postures, where only 10% given to verbal communications. And that really is what a lot of the memories I feel each gamer has comes down to. If it's not through the communications you have with your friends and family, then it's always through their faces, their emotions, their aspects of, oh my god, why do you kill me? Or why do you upset the dragon by making a casting illusion right in front of it?
Whoa. Whoa, bro.
That's Jack's favorite
I'm in the
move, by the way.
room, Jack. Oh man.
Cast illusion.
In front of the boss. Okay. Wait,
To
why is
this
the boss
ridiculous
music?
It's a good D&D game, but just one of the players is just doing like random stuff, like you're gonna go charm this level 20 vampire. What level are you? 1. It might work. It might work.
Fail misery. I give you 10 seconds to
Really,
run.
the boss as well. Like the way the GM describes him, he comes out of this he comes out of this building and he's like raising his arms, and all the undead like around is like walking towards him. And Jack's like, "I'm gonna go outside, cast minor illusion at him." We're like, "What?" it's like Luke Skywalker before meeting Obi-Wan. He's like Luke Skywalker, "I'm gonna go punch Darth Vader in the helmet." He's like, "What?" It's like, you got all this story. You got 3 movies to go through, man. You got to get your arm cut off. Get all this stuff you got to go through. That was Jack. It's like cast minor illusion. We didn't even know what to do. We're like,
So it's akin to
Anyway,
Luke Skywalker busting out a toothpick and trying to stab Darth Vader in the back.
but it's like before he should. It's like in the beginning of the first movie. You know what I mean? It's like Captain America didn't get the super serum yet. He's like, "I'm gonna go fight crime." Like, dude, what are you doing? Wait, we got all this story you got to go through.
What are you doing? You got polio.
Hold up.
Get out of here.
I'm sorry, Jack. I didn't mean to interrupt. Putting it in context.
And especially if you're more artistically motivated, I know one of us all in this call, and it's going to show you just the demonstrations of differences. And it's not just it's going to replace it, but it could be used in tangent with other methods of artistry and exposure that video gaming has already been exposed to. But the one last thing is that it's a Gamma Sutra article, so it's good. Please read it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Alika.
Yeah, I'm digging this. This is pretty awesome. So you guys know how cocaine is made, right?
Right on.
So
Okay, now you got my attention.
yeah,
Pain.
cocaine. You know,
Did you
how
say pain?
cocaine.
How pain is made?
Yeah.
I just watched a National Geographic show.
I haven't seen New Jack City in a minute.
Right. We gotta watch it again.
Yes,
Gotta get Pookie
watched
Baby
it
on there.
in Peru. The Portuguese journalist. I forget the name of it. Actually, really, I was like.
Oddly enough, Jeff knows how to make some primo shit.
But
Okay,
hold on. So I have. No, I'm just kidding. You guys.
Just like
But
actually,
I'm experimenting with. These are almonds. Okay, you all just. So I can imagine Jeff was watching it like.
Jeff goes to Peru monthly. It's like actually.
FBI. Okay. Open
He's
up.
known as El Profesor in Peru, right? El
Look at the
Profesor.
back, cocaine made easy. Cocaine made in 21 days. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Alika.
So, right. So we have that, and we know how it's made. It's just basically a concentration of the alkaloids that are within the coca leaf. But if you chew the coca leaf by itself, mix it with the lime, all of these things that are mixed together, and it synergizes, it's actually not bad for you, right? So with gaming now, it's kind of what I feel about certain aspects of digital gaming, because games from their inception were a community activity. Like they were a thing that you would do with other people. And I love how this article is going off about like gesture drawing has that one section right there, gesture drawing, right? Okay. So how you, and thank you. So how you basically give yourself a limited amount of time to draw and embody the energy that you feel from that model, standing in that position, and what you can interpret it and pull from it. And that is a skill that human beings, I think it was vital for human beings to evolve and create what we have at this point. Empathy. We needed to kind of be able to communicate or understand and communicate with each other in a way that we could work together to make something amazing. And nobody can do that alone. And I think that's why having empathy as a mainstay in any game design, just like a muscle, it has to be exercised, has to be worked, is a wonderful addition to game design and should be at the core. Because like if it's all digital, then you're basically getting the cocaine version of gaming. Whereas doing it analog and having it designed as something that is meant to be shared and meant to be
Interesting.
experienced with multiple people, right?
I hear our new Schools of the Future presentation. Hello, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Aloha, my name is Jeffrey. Does anyone know what cocaine is? Like, cocaine. And then we have like some like baking soda, cocaine. And like, I was like, oh my God. and then like comedy, right? Take them from that to exactly what you just said. I think it's cool.
Yeah. So digital gaming is like the cocaine of gaming, whereas this is the coca leaf, where you're getting out all of the alkaloids.
Diana, I'm like, are you talking about cocaine?
I know. As soon as I said cocaine, my wife just happens to open the door.
What's happening?
Can we have the party at his house next week?
Wait, that's actually your wife.
Anybody say cocaine?
What the hell is going on in that room? Who are you talking to?
Tell your wife I say hi.
His wife.
Everybody says hi. We're recording the podcast episode. We're just talking about some cocaine. All right.
That was so funny.
You're sleeping in the doghouse tonight, Alika.
I live for moments like this. All right. Was that it, senor?
That's about it. Yes.
All right.
What
are your thoughts on empathy design, man?
Empathy in gaming. Did you guys ever play that game Journey?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Never. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. That game is basically mostly an empathetic experience, right? There's like one button for talk, and it depends on how long you press it to make just one little bloop or bloop noise. Like, it's all just feeling and empathy and the gestures that you're getting. So it's definitely something that's been done and done well. Is it the whole future of gaming? I can't say that because like competitive gaming kind of leaves that whole side out of it. Like there's not many empathetic moments in a StarCraft battle or something like that.
Or Call of Duty match.
Yeah. I mean,
well, here's the thing about the article. It mentions victories. So victories and pride as key emotions to empathy. So maybe from the article?
Is that really though? Like, but then like thinking of the most empathetic experience in gaming I've ever had was in Journey. Or they just did the one with the water one too. I can't remember. Was it Abzu?
Oh, Abzu. I saw that one. I didn't get to play that yet.
So there are these very empathetic stories of gestures and feelings, more art than form, and it's just I don't see like scoring a touchdown elevating that experience in any way. Like,
yeah,
no way. At one point, they could have been like, "Yeah, stick a grenade on him." No, that would have been completely out of place in that moment. So it's almost like, it's like the difference between like easy listening or like hardcore metal. Like there's there's two different genres here, and I feel like they both need to be explored, and they can mix in some way. But I don't know if like all empathetic gaming is just the future of gaming. Like I can't say that with a definitive mindset.
I can. So, Takeshi and Hitachi, which was the iOS Game of the Year this year, is about, and we talked about this on the cast at length. So I'll talk a little bit about it. These two brothers. One brother is going into the hospital with this unknown illness, and building a game in the game to comfort your brother, and it's just and there's just dialogue going back and forth. Um, there's a bunch of other ones like Spirit Island, the video game where you're helping people pass on to the other side. So when they die, so that you play this girl, people die, they go into this boat, and based on their personality, become this kind of anthropomorphized animal, and you comfort them. So the whole idea is to kind of take them into this certain island. You kind of this boat, and you take them to where they're gonna die, but you only arrive at that place by building a certain type of dialogue with them. Of course, my favorite game of last year, Disco Museum. Well, that's a game of madness more than empathy. But yeah, so like for me, what stood out for me is it's just different ways of making games, right? Like for me, it's not about like what's a better method, like one of my favorite first person shooters is Overwatch. Like I still play that game and it's a confrontational game. It's a team versus team game. Like I'm shooting me, still have fun, right? So I think that's one of the beautiful thing with the arts, whether it's music or video games or whatnot. It's a broad enough spectrum that you can design anything in there. And
But
what
did you
Gamma
ever have an emotional experience with Overwatch? Like
um
completely empathetic, like
actually, yes, I cried my ass. Well, I shouldn't say that. I didn't cry. Back up from this
I
stage.
almost did.
No, it's yeah. Thank you, Alika. Alika's always got my back. When I played the Reinhardt level, knowing what happened to him and what he's trying to do, just running through the level, and that's Overwatch is the gameplay is one thing, but the story is in the landscape. So like if you choose to pay attention to it, which people have written all these like what is it called? Fanfic, Jack?
Fan fiction. Fan fiction.
Fan fiction. But I mean the cool kids say fanfic. That's why I was asking you, Alan.
Just gonna call it
I mean,
FF.
yeah, but I mean I wouldn't, I mean, so but that being said, I definitely wouldn't say that Overwatch is an empathetic game. It just impacted me that way because I love the story of Reinhardt and what he represents. But yeah, so I mean, but I want to be clear. I'm not saying that like the future of gaming is just empathetic gaming. Very, very, very cool. And the other thing is, I think this is a lot of the work that we do in game has to do with alternative futurism, right? And it's which I just saw this, guys. Criterion Collect, which is like this DVD company that they are putting out this box set for alternative futurism movies.
Wow.
Yeah, I was, hey, so again, like people are sick of dystopian apocalyptic stuff. That's that's so 90s, 80s, 2000s. Like let's and another fine example of alternative futurism is the new Star Trek, which I'm not going to talk about. I just want to say that. I mean, that is what we try to build games around to see the future. So the idea is that you kind of build something, envision it in our minds, consciously you move towards that kind of goal. And you can still have combat. I mean, in some respects, no, I was going to say Halo, but kind of, right, Jack? Sort of.
Yeah, when I mention Halo, it's not really multiplayer aspect. It's more of me building a mini game with my friends and my family, or me building like a movie
Gotcha.
scene. Like
Kind of
it's not really focused on the
Got
whole
it.
gameplay. It's like
Yeah.
either campaign or forge or sandbox.
Yep. So there's
That's-
this concept of like intrinsic, extrinsic, and extrinsic design, extrinsic reward. So intrinsic in the game, things that happen in the game that you love, and then extrinsic is like when you're done playing the game, like you're walking around with that content in your head, but the story is continuing. So just like a Saturday night role-playing games, like we're playing the game, and when we're there, like, oh my god, this is amazing. Sunday morning, we're waking up, and we're still kind of in that headspace. So kind of like that, right? This meta
right.
of thought process. But yeah, Gamma Sutra, you said this. It's been a while since we put a Gamma Sutra article in here. I think I mean, they go deep, man. That's one thing I love about Gamma
Yeah.
Sutra is like they're backed up by data, you know.
Yeah.
Well, this one, I think, yeah, Chris is a ex-Sony guy, so I mean his references are a lot of Sony stuff, but you know it's still super cool. And like going back to alternative futurism, so conflict games are cool, you know. Conflict is cool, you know, but it's kind of a tried and true kind of thing. And I'm not saying that it's like bad or going away or whatnot, but there's alternatives, right? It doesn't just have to all be conflict games. So this is one of those alternatives.
I think what makes the conflict game so compelling is because you have so few choices. Your only choice is to fight in that situation. So you have this.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Thanks. So you have this natural constriction of options. So that's what makes those games so fun and addictive, but also makes people very creative on how to create conflict and not really creating solutions.
Yeah. But when you don't have the extra 2 buttons, you know, to hug or whatever. I mean, that's not to, you know what I mean? Like there's only shoot.
But it
fight,
comes
block.
down to chess, right? Chess is like one of the oldest games there is, and it's all about conflict.
Well,
that's goal is.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
well,
I mean,
but it's goal of conflict. Is it
about hugging? But
well?
so let's look at it this way.
Is there a hug button in Go?
Yeah.
Another way to look at this is what is the biggest board gaming market right now? What genre? Cooperative games, non-combative games, working together for an outcome. Euro design is based on this whole principle. So in the just don't want to go into our lecture. We have several more articles to go into, but and we talk about this a lot. Jack prongs me with the Call of Duty thing every so often. But Germany, it was the Germans that really led us to innovative design. They have the Spiel des Jahres every year where they give all the award. They've been doing this for I think the 60s or early 70s, and like the X Prize did here in the United States, it drove innovation, right? That competitive kind of thing to like, you know, I'm going to make the best game that I can to try to win the X Prize or try to win the Spiel des Jahres. And they kind of started off, they actually started off non-combative because at the time they were leaving the war and whatnot, using games to kind of bring families back together. And there was like no violence in the games whatsoever. But that seed evolved and innovative for decades. And in America, we have a fusion of the two, right? We have this kind of Euro-based design and what we would call Ameritrash or conflict games, you know, zero sum, like I win, you know, you guys lose kind of thing. But now it's kind of this happy medium where there's like either a traitor in the game. So even though one guy can possibly win, he can't win from the beginning of the game, and all these kind of interesting design initiatives. But in the board gaming space, it is definitely, I mean, like pandemic before there was a pandemic was one of the best selling games. And that was like what really put the cooperative idea in Americans' minds, is that, you know, like we work together and we die, you know, we work together and we succeed. Right.
Mr. V, you said either we work together and we die, or we work together and we succeed.
Yeah, literally, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
those are the two
we work
options.
together. Yeah, so you work
Either
together.
way.
Yeah.
I mean, so if
No,
well, I
no,
mean, I guess if you don't work together, you die as
Yeah.
well. But I mean, but like working, but I mean that would never. So if the game correctly and you're playing the game I mean, unless you're walking away, you're engaged in the content. Like if you're
Yeah.
unable to
Right.
play a game, then something's broken in the game, right? Like the only way you wouldn't be able to participate is you don't take your turn. But if you're playing a card, if you're moving a piece, right? Even if, and this is, and I understand Jack's mindset, he loves to kind of sabotage people's gaming experiences.
What?
But if you build a game correctly, you can't really do that. You know, you can't really sabotage. Absolutely.
Well, because the premise is with cooperative
Absolutely.
games, you win together or lose together.
Thank you. Sorry. For the premise of the game, you're absolutely correct. So if it's a zero-sum game, sure, you know, you can do stupid stuff and only you know, take yourself down. But in a cooperative game, if you're building a cooperative game, you have to build it in a way that a person can't mess with the experience because there's going to be 3 pissed off other people, right? So you gotta kind of build it in a way that just in case. And there's a thing called alpha gamers. So alpha gamers will be somebody that knows the game, that tells everybody this is how you have to play the game. This is how we win. So you want to build the game in such a way that eliminate all these things. And this is just, you know, you get after building games for so long. Anyway, can we jump on to the next article?
Yep.
All right,
Jump
cool.
on to the next one.
2020
everyone.
an empathy-driven way to design games. Did my mouse just die? I think it did. Okay, here we go.
You wasn't having enough empathy for it, so it had to
All right, next
Gotta
article
hug your
is
mouse.
by. Oh, there we go. See, I just gave it a little hug and it worked out. WCTrib.com, and this is the West Central Tribune. Minnesota teen builds video games in honor of COVID-19 vaccine. Okay, let me just pause this really quick. I can't even say this on the air. So how do I do this? Because I already said it already. So I can't just say nothing now. Got it. I made a COVID vaccine game. Okay, there. And we'll talk about this later. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, go. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm the guy who's actually made this post this article in our show notes, and it's basically talking about this teen who really gotten inspired by all of the troubles that COVID-19 had been, and now with the whole idea of the vaccination coming in, that he got inspired to just make a game and to express his feelings. I really thought that was awesome, but also it really touched on all of the articles prior, especially the education one, because I feel this is how you get students to make or to interact with educational quote unquote games by having them make it and having their own experiences show.
Novel idea.
Yes, Mr. V?
Oh, sorry.
You have an idea?
No, I said what a novel idea. I was just.
Oh, okay.
It was like, you know when you have like the hip hop guy in the front, and he's like da 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 da, and the guys in the back like da 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 da. So I'm in the back, Jack, going da da. All right. Go ahead.
Novel idea.
But honestly, and that's it's one of those feel good articles that I really felt they needed to be showcased because a lot more games are going to be made from a lot more different people. As we saw, as the gaming industry is going to be more open. So we're going to expect more articles from this at the bare minimum, but with more stories being told. So yeah.
Alika.
Yeah, I think that was pretty awesome, and it's kind of an artful way or artful motivation for making a game more for expression. But it's a cool vehicle for exploration as well, and I don't know, I agree with it. That's exactly why we make games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's great.
Exactly. All right, Alan.
You are muted.
Nope. Oh no! How did you mute yourself again, man? He looks pissed. Oh, he throws the
Yeah,
phone.
the throw his phone.
He
I
needs to
think
have
this
empathy.
game is wonderful.
He's yelling fun, guys. He's yelling fun.
Okay, well,
F
while he is dealing with technical issues,
F is
I'll say
for
what I. Oh no, he's motivated. He's like back. All right, here he goes. Okay, connecting audio.
Hey guys, so I gotta dig in about 10 minutes.
Okay, all good.
Okay,
Alright.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay, I'm back. All right. So this is the intersect of valuable information and having fun with programming, right? So it seems like he did it because he wanted some kind of metric to gain information about it, but he also created it to help his community. So it's a beautiful melding of those two processes. An interesting side note is I was just reading up on there was a pandemic that went through Warcraft, like World of Warcraft had an actual
Yeah.
pandemic one
Years
time.
ago.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
they're showing how that is valuable data.
Wow.
According to how people are reacting, they reacted the same way in the game, pretty much. And when they re-released the World of Warcraft Classic, there was they skipped that because so many people hated it. They skipped that process of going through another pandemic, which would have given us even more valuable information. So it's like,
Wow.
yeah. So there's instances in which gaming could have really helped us through simulating these things that we kind of have even let go. So it's nice to see a young kid attempting.
Cool. Taught himself how to program. He built a game, releases it for free. I'm on board. It's super cool. Super cool.
What kind of data and metrics has he gotten from releasing it? Like, what are the what's the information he's gleaning?
Well, mostly numbers, and also how much time do they spend in game. So, for example, take the scoring system and stuff like that. It also giving him insight onto how much do they have a influence, whether it's his own high school student or his own community playing at this game to not only use it for COVID-19, but also to gain data on what they're using for as recreational purposes. Blah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
That is Minnesota teen builds video game in honor of COVID-19. Awesome article, Jack. Okay, final article. We're gonna have Aliko start this because he needs to go and put on his Batman costume and go save the community after this. So, Aliko, why don't you start it?
Okay.
So, what are your thoughts? So Jerry Lawson changed video games forever, and he's being recognized for it. Your thoughts on this article, Aliko?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I want to watch High Score now on Netflix.
I know Jack keeps scolding me about it. I can't believe I haven't seen it either, man.
Yeah. So we gotta watch this. This is the new one we gotta watch together. So I want to see that. And I did the quick view on the website just to skim through it. And what sucks is he actually made the first console. It's called Channel F, and it came out at the same time as Atari, and Atari completely overshadowed it. But he's being told, or he's being recognized now, and his family went ahead and worked together with Netflix to put out High Score so that his work can be put out into the population, so what's been going on. There's some awareness now. I mean, it's super cool that he went through all of this and continued, and his family remembered. Like, they didn't just give up after Atari completely smashed them in sales. It's an inspiring story. I want to see the documentary though, so I can get a more full view on this. This looks super interesting, so I'm gonna check this out.
All right. Okay, Aliko, you wanna bail out, man? You know, say your
Yeah.
goodbyes and bells. All right. Thank you so much, man, for hanging out as long as you could. We went a little bit over, of course.
A little bit.
Yeah, but appreciate it, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you for showing up, Alan. See you later,
Yeah.
Jeff and Jack.
Yep.
Sorry.
All right. You guys have a good time.
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed. We still need to talk about that.
We will. We will. Totally.
man.
I was waiting for the.
Jeff was like, okay, you leave. And right as
I could've
you
just
leave, I'm
walked
saying
away.
Assassin's Creed. This is why I got to come back next week now. Watch.
Yeah,
There we
I
go.
could have just
Tune
walked
in.
away, Jeff.
We're never
Now that's
gonna
in my
talk
mind.
about it.
We're
Never
never
gonna talk
gonna-
about it. Tune in next
we're
week
just
for
gonna allude.
Assassin's Creed.
We're gonna come back next year and be like Assassin's Creed. Oh, that's right. Okay.
All right, brother. Get out of here.
Dude.
All right. Okay. Jack, your thoughts on this article?
Like the prior article, I chose this one, and I felt like this article really blended itself, but like with the other three articles before it, and so, but more in the idea of legacy and how, especially with the empathy one. Well, if we was discussing on whether or not if it's going to change gaming, when in naturality, a lot of other stuff aspects of it could just be easy as forgotten, as like how Mr. Lawrence's story was. And so I really think this story has like that meaning and also another meaning. Well, even though you may not get recognized it like right now, your story is going to be told eventually. It doesn't it sucks it took them this long to get recognized for his achievements, but I really think it's just the whole idea of game developers just need to be willing to grind for it, even if it means to wait for it a little bit more longer than you wanted. So I honestly have to say, like, even though this story is getting recognized, there's gonna be a lot more stories that it's going to be the exact same thing, and just be looking out for those stories. Maybe what you first heard is not the actual truth, and maybe it's a combination of misconceptions, and you need to hunt for it. So this is another way of seeing the article, and it's a short read. It really is, but the meanings it has is going to translate throughout the years very, very well.
All right, Alan, any thoughts on the article?
I think I watched the documentary a while back, and it's nice that he's getting the recognition, and you know it's strange to think of all the grandfathers of gaming when I think of them. None of them like prototypically you think of a black male, but to find out that like the grandfather of it all is a black male is pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a great story. I hope it gets more attention, and you know, African American people get more space in the programming world, because it's something that I guess they're not really recognized for, but are completely integral in.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, absolutely. So I didn't see this documentary yet, so I can't really speak to it with too much authority. But overall, I think this is a freaking awesome article. And yeah, that's essentially what I was going to exactly say, was that yeah, like we always look at Atari as like the popular first step. Like there was some other like I don't remember the game. There was this like Space Cadet or whatever it's called, space game that was done before that. But I mean, like really, like it brought gaming into the homes, like console gaming, right? It was like the first console game, and like guess what? there's a black dude that did this. Just I mean, like it's almost like, oh, you like Black Sabbath? Yeah, man, Black Sabbath's awesome, man. That's where metal comes from. Yeah, you got to check out this thing called blues music. What's that? you know, like you know, what's you know, I mean, similar thing, right? Just always, you know, the cultural
history tells you something for so long, and then it turns out to be the exact opposite.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep. So, well, the other thought was I can imagine like his family, like just going through a mall and just seeing people with like Atari, and they're just like, oh. It's like I couldn't help but think about that.
Yeah,
It's everywhere, right? Like in Tron
the
movies.
flack they must have gotten for being like, you didn't invent video gaming, Shigeru Miyamoto invented it. Just like their whole life just told that, and then finally to get their day in the sun. It's really nice.
That's right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. All right. So that is going to be for a show. And Jack, where can they email us and bug us?
At theboardstate@gmail.com.
Boardstate@gmail.com.
Sorry, I kind of had to do that to remember.
Cool. All right. Everyone have a good week.